A drug used to save lives could soon be sold over the counter.
As opioid-related deaths continue to climb, a committee of advisors to the FDA unanimously voted in favor of making Narcan available without needing a prescription. Late 31's Xavier Wary joins us live now.
Xavier, not only have you been learning more about the possible approval, but you also spoke with local first responders and a member of Not One More Alabama. What have you learned?
Maria and Dan, the people that I spoke with, they agreed that this potential decision is one that has been a long time coming. And yes, cost could potentially be an issue. However, they say that this drug is extremely safe and it is a life-saving tool that should be readily available to anyone who needs it.
We have needed this for a long time.
Patty Sixtus is the president of Not One More Alabama, an organization supporting families impacted by the disease of addiction. She's seen and heard many stories of people whose lives have been saved thanks to Narcan, like one mom who got Narcan at one of their events and quickly saved a life.
Shortly thereafter, used it to save her own son's life. She had come in and found him unresponsive and was able to use the Narcan, and he was able to go to treatment after that and start, hopefully working towards life and recovery.
As of now, in the state of Alabama, only pharmacists and some licensed physicians are allowed to provide Narcan. A committee hopes the Federal Food and Drug Administration makes this drug readily available to anyone who needs it. Some may not agree with that decision because they believe it could act as an enabler to using opioids. However, both Sixtus and Don Webster with HIMSI want people to look at it through a different perspective.
I would rather have somebody that is alive that we can hopefully take to get rehabbed and move forward with their life. You can't do that to somebody who's dead.
An addiction is a brain disease. It is not a moral failing. It's not somebody's just making bad choices. The brain wiring is altered when somebody starts using substances. And so it is important to be able to have tools to be able to help them, because if they're not alive, we can't help them. We can't help them get treatment. We can't help them to change their life and live a life in recovery.
Now, the FDA plans on making a decision by late March, and although prices have not yet been announced if Narcan were to be sold over the counter, there are some concerns about how much that drug could potentially cost. So stick with us, because coming up on Way 31 News at 5, we'll dig a little bit deeper into that. But for now, I'm reporting live in Huntsville. Xavier Wary, Way 31 News.